Good morning, students. So in this video we will study about the friction's necessity and friction as an evil, right? So first we will take here friction as necessity, means importance of friction, right? So first it helps us in walking. First I will take walking. Okay, students, only because of the frictional force we are able to walk on the ground, because it is the friction only between the ground and our feet, means the shoes, sole of the shoes, that enables us to walk. Okay, when we push the ground, means under our feet, then in backward direction, only because of the frictional force provides the forward reaction and we are able to move. So without friction we cannot walk. So means if it is absent between our feet, our sole of the shoe and the ground, means it will not be possible for us to walk. You have observed when oil is on the ground, and what happens? Because there is no frictional force between the two objects, then you slide immediately, like the water. So means why it happens? Why you slide? Because a thin layer is formed between the two objects, means our feet and the floor, and this decreases the friction between our feet and the ground. Okay, and we are no longer able to move there because there is no grip on the floor. So that's why, right? Second one is the rolling. Second one is the rolling. So friction between the tires, okay, tires of the vehicles and the road, this is also necessary for the vehicles to move safely. Similarly, as we have discussed in the walking, because means they will go on spinning, tires will go on spinning on one point only, at one place, if there is no frictional force between them. First one is the small activities. It also helps in performing the small day-to-day activities. Have you imagined that when you write on the paper or we write on the board, then there is also a frictional force. When we write with pen or pencil, then what happens? That force hold the particles of that particular ink or any chalk powder, and this makes that particles to stick on the surface of what? Surface of paper or surface of board. So all these are the necessities, or we can say all these are the advantages of the friction, right? So after this, now we will take the negative aspect of the friction also now, right? Means the an evil or nuisance. So next I will take friction and evil or nuisance, right? Means its disadvantage. So students, first it consumes a greater part of our consumes our energy. Okay, because we have to overcome, as friction opposes the relative motion, because it will be in the opposite direction as it opposes the relative motion between the objects. So we have to do some effort, we have to apply some force, we have to use here energy, right, on that object, and thus we can say that a part of the energy is lost in overcoming friction. right? This is the first disadvantage, or we can say the nuisance of the friction. Second, it is also responsible for loss of, we can say, wear and tear of the moving objects or the moving parts of the objects, right? Means we have seen the worn out steps of foot over bridges at railway stations, soles of our shoes. After some time we have to replace our shoes because the soles of the shoes, they get tear off, right? So means all these are because of the friction. It is the friction which wears these surfaces, because the surfaces, they get rubbed, okay? The surfaces, they get rubbed over the, against, we can say, the surface of the other object. If you take the example of the shoe, then where they will get the rubbed on the floor, okay? So this is the second disadvantage. So because of this reason, the moving parts or the old machines, we have to repair them again and again, okay? Then next is the third, means the most of the part of the energy that is supplied to a machine, it also gets wasted, okay, in the form of heat energy. In the machines, most of the part of energy, it gets lost in the form of the heat energy. So this is also wasted, only to overcome friction. So all these are the disadvantages of the friction. Now students, after this we will study methods to increase friction and methods to reduce friction. Okay, thank you.